it's 2 years for you, but it's 17 for me. And there's still this weird moment that you'll sometimes have that you feel like they're still here.
Yeah.
Like when the best things are happening in my life, I'll call my daddy, I'll call my sister, you know, I tell Chance, like whatever it is. And I still be like, dang, I ain't tell somebody.
Yeah.
And it's my mama. Welcome to Fridays with Tab and Chance. I am Tabitha Brown, and this is my husband.
I'm Chance, what's up?
And today we have a special guest. Some of you may already know, but he cuts up right much. My brother.
The Nicholas Ryan Few.
Oh, well, all right.
The
Bring the beat in.
Friday.
Hey, you ain't off stage, me doggone.
I should have knew that he had that temper.
Hey, that was good. That was good. Did you know that?
It'd have been nice. I think you ought to let him keep it.
Come on, Chad.
Absolutely not.
See, come on, Chad.
Absolutely not.
Good.
No.
You
no.
had the beat.
No.
I
You
just
just sit
had a
there.
little auxiliary.
Hold your hands. Hold them. Put them down.
Like a
I know. You more. Hey, when I got started, I heard all that chiming.
I thought that's what it was. I thought it was your braces the whole time.
All right, look. Listen.
Listen.
Look. All right.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
I'm serious.
All right, here we go. Friday.
What? What happened? That was, y'all want me to just be quiet.
I just
You gonna sing?
Yeah. Just be quiet. Just be quiet. Don't say nothing.
You sing the song. Do you know the song?
And I need you to no. And I need you to harmonize. Don't do what Tab. Don't do what Tab do. Don't try to. Where you coming in at?
That second tenor.
Okay, that's where we gonna be at. Here we go. I don't need you to move.
Oh, I can't move.
No, don't move. Don't move. Don't move.
Wait a minute, my mic pack ain't right.
Don't move.
Y'all try to quell my spirit.
Yeah, whatever that means. Yes. Whatever that means.
Come on, Quail.
Here we go. You ready?
You want me to say it again?
No, I got it.
Oh, you got sleep in your eye. Okay.
All right, here we go.
Fridays with Tab and Chance.
You see Carlos look at me.
Fridays with Tab and
Chance. Brown. You're welcome. You are welcome.
You would know that this is going to be a serious topic today. Fooling with this one right here.
Oh, Tab.
Babe, you told me to invite me.
I really appreciate that too.
Welcome to Fridays with Tab and Chance. It's Mother's Day weekend, upon us. And those of you know that I lost my mother many years ago. And so my brother Nick has recently, it's been 2 years, right? Just past 2 years, 2 days ago, that he has lost his mother. And so, and my mother-in-law is still with us. And so I thought today would be a great day to talk about mothers, what mothers mean to us, but also I know so many people like us have lost their mothers. It may be like this may be your first Mother's Day, and or not. It may be it has been many years, but it never goes away. It's like a hole that just never goes away. And so I wanted us to talk about it so that people are not feeling alone in the world, in your grief or in your feelings, right? So let's start off on a positive note.
Yeah, because I wanted to say that. Because we just went from real high.
Well, that's what I said. That's what I said.
Yeah. Because now we gotta put a little something on this and ease into this deep conversation because we just went from clowning to.
Yeah.
I'm over here. I feel real guilty now. Like I just feel.
No, that's why I said you would never know that this might be a serious conversation. But no, I think we start off with what is one of the funniest memories that you have from your childhood of your mama? Bae, what's one of the funniest memories that you have?
Funniest.
Yeah.
It wasn't funny at the time.
Uh-oh.
But now, it's probably, Mama coming up to the school.
Oh, which time?
When, I ain't gonna say her name, but when she came up to the school and got on the counselor about calling her at her job, every time something went on, y'all need to do y'all damn job and stop calling me about this boy. When I look back on that, I was wrong and Mama was all the way wrong. Mama cussed the whole school out because I'm getting in trouble at school and they keep calling her at her job. That's probably one of them, But if I sit here and think a little longer, I probably can come up with something. My mama was very, very, in hindsight.
Funny.
Yeah. Just, I'm sitting here thinking about what we was talking about the other day and how we got on the topic of your mama. About the yard sales.
Oh.
Yeah.
She gonna steal yard sale to this day.
Yeah. My mom still yard sale to this day. Yeah, her commitment to yard selling it seemed like it was more important than her commitment to her full-time job.
That was her full-time job.
I'm talking about when Saturdays came along, boy, Mama, and the way she would wake up and her preparation, get the house clean, everything, and ran that thing like it was a military base.
Oh, yeah.
Just to get out and
treasure hunt.
Poor boyfriend getting cussed out, little stuff like that, that you would have to be there to really get the humor in it. But Mama was hilarious in that sense.
I wasn't there, but I think one of the funniest memories that you have shared about your mama is when she created a roach committee for y'all's apartment.
What?
Because somebody had roaches and she said, this stops here.
Yes. Hey, my mama ran the apartment, so that's when we lived in the apartment.
The roach committee.
Oh my God.
No roaches would be, because she said they moved to everybody's apartment.
Yeah.
If one person had roaches, everybody.
And mama knew exactly who it was. Identified that person and called herself doing it in a nice way.
You can't. That's impossible.
So we lived on Lewis Street. We lived on Lewis Street, and it was a four building unit. And Mama came home and there was some roaches in our apartment.
That's the worst feeling.
Mama identified who it was. Said everybody gonna bomb their apartment. Everybody gonna leave. And she said, and it was some apartments across the street. Poor lady lived across the street, right? Everybody who was in our building had been there for a little bit. But then Mama said them roaches traveled across the street.
And she fit that thing, okay.
Mama said them roaches came across the street. You the new person over here, y'all furniture had roaches in it. We never had them before. And we ain't never had no roaches. Yeah. And we gonna all bomb this apartment.
It's you.
And they gonna do theirs too. And we're gonna yeah, you couldn't tell Teresa to see that, boy. Mama ran Lewis Street. Everybody gonna bomb this apartment. Yeah. Yeah, got rid of them.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, for a little bit.
For a little bit,
But then, hey, it just
roaches are very resilient. They come back.
Listen, they do. They don't die easily.
Hey, listen, I remember when that's why we ended up really moving. Mom was like, I'm tired of this. We leaving.
Because of the roaches?
Yeah. She was like, hey, I'm tired of it. We are out. We ain't living like this no more.
What is their function? What do roaches do? Like, most animals.
They multiply.
We don't die, we multiply.
Who was that?
Baby's kids.
Yeah.
So, brother, what's a funny memory that you have of your mama from your childhood?
My mama was funny. Anyway, I remember one time a pastor friend of ours was preaching, and he said something real hard, like, God, go, and his teeth flew out of his mouth in the pulpit, and he caught him and tried to throw him back in, and he hurt himself. And my mother laugh so hard they had to carry my mother out. They had to physically take her up
I would have been done.
and bring her out of the church because she would not.
Are you serious?
Hey, I
That's
been,
where I get my sense of humor from.
I would have been. Church service is over.
So your mama was that woman that had the hush.
Oh,
Hey.
she.
They would have had to find something in the Bible that preached on sense of humor.
Look,
Because I would have been done.
Yeah.
That's
they were
it.
like, amazing. If you can't get it together, because she wouldn't stop.
Was she crying?
She had turned her Muppets, turn over and just ah! That's how my mama was in church doing.
Honey.
I had never seen my mama cut up like that.
Did it make you laugh though?
Oh yeah.
Honey.
We laughed together in the fellowship hall because they told us we couldn't come back
Both
in the
y'all.
church. Y'all two get
Two
up.
and two. Right here.
But there's one story. I remember the last time I saw Fantasia on Broadway. She was amazing. God. Color Purple. We were walking, and she was walking in front of me in New York. She's like, I don't need you to do it. I know who I am in New York. And I was like, Mama, slow down a little bit. My mother was very excited. She went from Georgia. She was excited about being back in New York. She went to New York for college earlier when she was teaching. And she walked up before me, and she was turned back talking to me, and she didn't see that a big horse was standing.
Oh, like the police horses?
Yes, on the side, right at the sidewalk. And so she said, I don't need no. She walked out, and boom, the horse's face and her face were right here. And she went, and started screaming. And she wouldn't move. So the horse was here, and she was just screaming in the horse's face. The horse started doing this thing.
Yeah.
And Ben said, ma'am.
It scared the horse.
Me again. I was during New York sidewalk, turned over, laughing at my mom. Mama was
Hilarious.
so funny.
That is hilarious. I'm trying to think of like funny.
I got one. I got one for your mama.
What?
When she popped you in your mouth, boy,
That
that thing
one
was funny to me, boy.
No,
You not you get popped
because I had cussed.
She
on the
thought she
phone
was
at my
grown.
mom and hung up. And
She
hung-
told she cussed at her
I said,
and hung up that phone,
I'm
and I
damn
was like,
grown.
I'm grown. I'm damn grown.
I was 21. Mm-hmm. And me and Chance was together, and I was living in Greensboro. Mama was still living, in Madison. And we had a conversation. I don't even remember what happened. I just remember telling her, you can't tell me I'm damn grown. And I hung the phone up. The whole week. To say that was like a Monday. The whole week went by, I didn't talk to Mama.
Oh, wow.
We went to church Sunday, just like normal. And me and Chance, after church, we go to my grandma's house. Go to my granny house.
Nigga, we pulled up.
We
boy.
pulled up.
She said, baby, go on in there.
I ain't think nothing of it because I'm like, it's over now.
You done forgot? Oh, no,
Yeah.
you didn't really forget about it, though, did you?
But I'm just thinking like, it's over, Mama came out the screen though.
Hey, baby.
Smiling, like, hey, baby, you want to get you something to eat to Chance?
Go on in the
She
house.
walked away. I said, hey, Mom. Before I could get Mama out good, she said, don't you ever cuss at me. And don't you ever hang that phone up on me. My lips didn't used to be this size. They used to be a little bit smaller.
Low.
My lips stung so bad. And she said, now let's go in the house and get something to eat.
You know,
She never lingered, but she kept that for a week. It was her first thing she said.
it was the coolest because she was so sweet.
Right.
Like I never ever, like she was the sweetest woman. I never thought she would ever. And it caught me off guard. When I'm turning and going in, and I see her, she did it so smooth, boy. I'm talking about like a ninja. Like it was just like, go
Because she was
baby.
smiling.
Go,
Hey,
baby.
I said, hey, Mom.
And she said, bow, right in the mouth. I tucked my lips.
Chance them out.
I said,
And kept on walking.
I went on in the kitchen, but I was so happy
What?
and disturbed at the same time. I like, my girlfriend got popped in the mouth.
You was happy, baby.
Yeah, I was a little happy.
Look, then you gonna talk about, you all right?
You all right?
You should have bought you a bag of ice.
Listen, I'm in there eating like this.
No, I went on there.
I was like, not in front of my boyfriend.
You don't interfere with that.
Honey, Mama said, mm-mm. But,
That's funny.
I mean,
She all right, baby, go ahead.
listen, I do have one memory that I remember. So my mom, when my great aunt passed away, Auntie Mama went and cleaned out, you know, the clothes and stuff. And she had all these old coats from like the 50s and stuff. And Mom said, oh, these are beautiful, but they smell like mothballs and stuff. They, you know, in the old house. So she said, I'm gonna take them to the cleaners. I mean, she probably had furs, like everything from, you know, Renaissance era, like, oh. Mama took them to the cleaners. And I guess she didn't realize how much it was gonna be. And it was expensive. I feel like it might've been like, maybe like $400 or $500 for her to get them out because it was so much. But she didn't know when the lady gave her the thing. She didn't say nothing. When the lady gave her the receipt on how much it was gonna be, she left them coats. She won't go back. And this is the little Asian lady that worked at the cleaners.
No.
So for weeks, this lady would keep calling Mama, keep calling her. And Mama, leaving her voicemails telling her, come get these coats. You gotta pay for these coats, you gotta come get them. And so Mama kept ignoring the calls. She said, I ain't gonna get them coats. That costs too much money, I'm not gonna do that. So Mama worked at social services. So I called Mama's phone. You know, I called the social services to talk to her. Everybody knew me, but I called and disguised my voice like I was a little Asian lady.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't do that too.
I wish Lisa, her best friend Lisa, honey, if Lisa is watching this, Lisa, you remember this. We just talked about this a couple months ago. Mama answered her phone, you know, and I turned my little voice on and pretended, and she was like, how did you get my work number? I'm not coming to get those coats. I can't afford it. Like I was like, oh no, you're gonna get these coats. She was like, how dare you talk to me that way? Honey, when I said, see what happened, I changed my voice to me, I said, see what happened when you take stuff to the cleaners and don't get it. She laughed. When I tell you, we probably laughed about that for years because she really thought that lady had called her job. Baby, I said, that's you gonna stop leaving stuff at these cleaners, but you know whose mama that was?
Don't you say it. Who was it?
That was Kathy Young's mom.
Well, it couldn't have been with two people.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly.
It couldn't have been with two
Baby, I said,
two were we from.
Yeah, absolutely. But baby, that was a good memory that I had.
No.
What was you about to say?
No, that was it.
Oh, okay.
That was it.
I got one more little short funny story. We were in Walmart, and before my mother knew the rules, where they check your receipt, she had never experienced that before.
Yeah.
And so we had gone through the cashier, and she got to the thing, and the lady said, oh, ma'am, may I see your receipt? I said, what? You just saw me in this line. Why would you? The lady said, ma'am, per our policy, I need to see that receipt. Mama said, okay. And she gave her the receipt. And they said, see, that was easy. And she checked it off. And a little white lady with an afro. I'd never seen this before in my life. I'd never seen a little bitty white lady with an afro. And the lady said, see, that was easy. See? And she went to hand my mama that receipt. And my mama tried to take her arms off her body. She said,
it used to feel like a personal
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
When it first started, it did feel very personal. I used to be offended. Like, y'all thought I was stealing. Yeah. But that's because I feel like we are the only ones that probably have felt that in the beginning.
And people were stealing. So
that's probably why they started.
That's why they started doing it.
That's why the policy got enforced, right? I know people who were stealing.
Hey, you remember Mama at the beach with the sharks?
Sharks?
Oh,
with my mama,
honey.
With,
baby.
I ain't gonna tell it.
Don't tell it.
Because it's too much cussing.
I'm gonna tell it without the cussing. We had moved out here, you know, to California, and Chance mama came. She was staying with us. So we said, we're gonna take her to the beach.
Yeah.
So we took her to the beach. We in Malibu Beach. It's quiet. It's just beautiful out there.
Serene.
Yeah. You know, kids is out there playing in the water and stuff. She out there sitting in a little chair. She sit up and she said,
my mama's not familiar with the beach, y'all.
She started screaming.
Somebody had said something. Somebody said something to trigger it.
Wait a minute.
Oh no, people were starting to look and they were like, look, they were pointing to the ocean. She looked and she started screaming because Choice is in there, right? Kids is in there.
Yeah, back the kid, yeah.
She jumps up and starts screaming, it's an MF shark out there. It's sharks out there, it's an MF shark, it's MF sharks. It was dolphins.
Those are
that
dolphins.
were jumping. And everybody was, you know, watching the dolphins. Baby,
She was get my
grandbaby
kid
out there.
running.
I said, dang, they are dolphins. And they were like out, you know, in the distance, but you can see them jumping up out the water. Honey, I said,
that is hilarious.
it had to be us.
Hey, she was going to save them grandbabies.
But she was going to save them, though. She was going to save them.
was
Just
gonna
like
save
she
them
jumped in that
grandbabies.
water to save Choice when Choice told her she could swim.
Yeah, she was going to save them grandbabies.
Yeah, she was going to do it. Yeah. Oh, okay. So what is the best lesson that your mother ever taught you?
Oh, I got a good story.
Go ahead.
So, you know, I've come back to regret doing this. Probably because physically I've become the manifestation of this. But me and my mom and I have had a very special relationship since we were baby boy. And one day, my dad was cutting the grass, and I looked up at his head and I said, Daddy's hairline is receding. Like, it's really going back like a McDonald's thing. Look. And I started laughing. And my mom looked at me and she said, excuse me. She said, I love the way his hair does that.
You told me this story.
Everything about
I love
his
it
hair,
too.
I love it. She said, you find you somebody one day that's gonna look at you. And what may be flaws to the world, they hit you different because you love somebody. You find you somebody. And I remember thinking, ooh, she fixed me. Now,
I love that story.
it hurt my feelings a little bit because I was
It needed to.
I was just playing. I was just
stop. Then stop playing.
My mom, exactly. She put the kibosh on that, and she told me how much she loved my dad, flaws and all, and what might seem to be flaws to the world, to her they were beautiful and made him beautiful. Yeah. So that was a great lesson.
That's
she
a
taught
great
me.
lesson. And then find somebody that loves all of you.
All of you.
Right, but also stop that playing and laughing at people's
And
imperfections.
judgment, right.
Well, you know,
We never do that.
It really didn't help you that much out in the world.
Except during the Met Ball, you know, a little comedy here and there, you know. No, but that's
But
true.
yeah, that is a good lesson.
I got. It's one. There's two I'm struggling with that I think I've mentioned before. That I'm like, which one is probably the one I value the most? I think it is when I came home and I was. I think they go together. So there's a. I think what my mom was trying to teach me is not to overthink things and not to put too much trust into people and to mind your business with both of these. It was when I was, I asked my mom about God. Is God real? And how do we know? And she was honest with me about her knowledge of the Bible, church, and the things that she appreciated, you know, from the church and the things that she didn't. And I think I was about 5th, 6th grade, and she just simplified it. And I was like, well, Ma, how we know, you know? And I might have been a little older. And I was like, because it was after that incident that I always tell you about in the neighborhood when I asked the person and they condemned me to hell because they couldn't answer my questions. The person that I don't want to say their name, the older lady. So it was after that, and I was asking my mom, and I was like, well, Ma, how we know God is real? And the way she just simplified it and in her transparency, with being honest, I appreciate now because she was just like, you know, she was pretty much just said, son, all I can tell you is this. And she was like, see the sun come up every day. Moon come up every day. You think man made that happen? And I was like, no. She was like, and it's gotta be something out there bigger in emotion, more than us. And I choose to believe that there is, whether it's woman or man or whatever it is, it's a higher being. And it feels good, right? To believe that even, you know, the things that we can't control, there's something that's working in our favor. And I just took that. And that's where I find my value in my faith, and I choose to be on a positive note. And then there was an incident, you know, when we were kids about homosexuality, right? And I came to my mom and I said a very nasty word. I said, Mom, what does this word mean? And I kind of was like looking like, how's she gonna respond?
The F word.
Yeah. And she was like, got stern, you know, that look like, you know what that word means, stop playing with me. Stop playing, right?
Stop playing.
And we had a conversation, and she said, why does it bother you? I said, it don't. She was like, you know that word bothers other people, right? Why are you so inquisitive about it, and what's really going on? So I'm a young son, and I say, well, is it wrong? You know, I'm asking her, is it wrong? The lifestyle, right? And there's some people in the community who were like family to us, right? I was like, why is he acting like a girl, Mom? Why, you know, just asking questions. Just as a young man, just asking questions. And the same way she simplified, right, the discussion with God and how the sun and the moon came up, she said, what you like? You like girls or you like boys? I said, I like girls. She was like, then that means there's more girls for you. Why are you concerned about what somebody else doing and how they living their life? They ain't bothering you. They ain't going out of your way, making you feel strange because you like girls. And I was like, just in my thinking, she was like, they ain't doing no harm to you, son. That ain't none of your business. It ain't having no effect on your life. Why are you concerned about it? Then she said, Kenny always nice to you? May he rest in peace. Michael always, they nice. He act like a girl, and then she went to some men who act like men, right? It was like, don't they always give you a hard time? Didn't you come and tell me that you don't feel comfortable? Right? But, yeah. And my brain, like, you love people who love you.
That's right.
For the right reasons, and stop concerning about things that don't bother you. And later in life is when I really, it just turned my brain off right there that, like, I like Michael. I like Kenny, right? And it turned my brain off, and I never even had to go back down that path. I have issues with it. But later in my adult life, in conversations just like, you know, with y'all, I went back and told my mom I appreciated her for that. And she was like, I was doing it on my own. And I really didn't think much of it. I just didn't want you to grow up to be one of those kind of people who because others were doing things, you did it, and you know what I mean? But I always, and it's so relevant, it's why I struggle with the two. They're kind of the same message. Sometimes as parents, I think we put too much stress on ourselves with trying to find this old mathematical or deep answer. And in her young parenting, because she was a young parent, she just simplified it, and it just went with me my entire life. And I value both of those messages because they're so relevant in today's world. When I'm watching people and their kindness and how they getting involved in other people's business, and I'm like, why are you overthinking this? Even with the Bible, with things of like God and conversation, to the point where I recently, with that conversation, had the same conversation with my son.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, I know that I got resources to where I can go to people and be like, hey, but I said, you know what, the best resource was the one my mama gave me. I ain't gonna overthink this. And son, this is how I'm answering. Yeah. And be simple with it. So those are the ones I value.
I'm gonna tell you something, Chance. As a person that studied religion and philosophy, those simple answers sometimes can be really enlightening to people. Like, I studied this stuff, and an answer like that would have been very helpful in the top of my studies.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was real
nice.
simple. And this is coming from a woman who got a 9th, 10th grade education and was pretty much raising me on her own. Both of her parents passed away while either 2 months after I was born or 2 months before. So she's 16, 17 years old, right? So I always look at it and value that. And in that story, and me saying that, that's where a lot of my faith comes. Right? That's where a lot of that, I'm like, gotta be a God, right? It's gotta be. It's just gotta be, and I choose to be. And like my mama said, it feels good to believe that it is. Yeah. So that's mine.
That's beautiful.
I love it. I feel like that type of thinking will help a lot of people in the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Honey, because people be so invested in other people's lives and business, and it creates like division, and people be arguing about stuff that don't even pertain to you. It's like, why are you so invested in hate? So I love that as well.
Me too, yeah.
I think the biggest lesson that my mama ever taught me was that everyone has something to offer, right? Good or bad, right? Because she would always tell me, she was like, even bad people have something to offer the world. And I'm like, they're bad people. She was like, yeah, but if they weren't bad, you wouldn't know what good was. And one of the things that I still hold and close to my heart and love is how important elderly people are.
Oh, yeah.
And so when I was little, Mama used to make me, we had 2 elderly neighbors, Mr. and Mrs. Folks, and they were retired teachers. And so, and it's so crazy, when I was little, Mrs. Folks, I thought that she was my granny's sister because they looked alike. They didn't know each other at all. They weren't related at all, but they looked alike. Because she was very, very like high yellow, or very fair skinned. But anyway, my mama would make me take my books down there and read to them every day. And so I would just spend time with them.
Yeah.
And my mama would volunteer at nursing homes. She would take me, with her. I'd be in there performing and, dancing, singing, just doing stuff. And what that taught me, and the thing that she would always say is, she was like, everything about the world as we know it, they knew it first. And she was like, that's where wisdom lies. That's where it is. And if we're lucky, we'll get there one day. And of course, my mama was not fortunate enough to get old.
Yeah.
But I always think about, I always wonder, sometimes I feel like we know our assignment. Like our soul, like we know how long we're gonna be here. Like I feel like our soul knows. Like us in the flesh, we don't know. But there's things that show us signs that like how long we may be here. And I feel like from her whole life, she loved old people. And it's almost like she would study them and she would spend time with them. She was a social worker too, but she was a hospice volunteer. Like she was always just
drawn
to elderly people. And so it almost made me wonder, like, if she knew she would never get old, so everything that she needed from that, she was trying to absorb it and give out compassion and grace and kindness. She taught me never to judge, to always like try to help if you can. And I'm still that way now. I remember when me and Chance first got together. She told Chance, she said, I'm gonna tell you now, she brings people home.
That's how,
That's exactly what she said. She said she gonna bring people home.
And I did, because I grew up, my mama she was a fixer. She could make everybody feel well. And so even at school, somebody come and tell me that something is wrong at their house, I'd be like, you can ride the school bus home with me. I'll take you to my mama, she can fix it.
Wow.
And so we had, I wrote about this too in my first book. We had a family that lived out in the woods, and they had a house, but it was more like a shack and stuff. And they had like goats and chickens and stuff that would come in and out the house. It was very much so like very, when you think of like the hillbillies, the movies and stuff. And I used to go over there and play with one of the little girls, but she was always like dirty. And so I told her, I said, you can come to my house, because they didn't have running water in the house. And brought her home. Mama gave her a bath. We fed her. Like, it became a normal thing. That sometimes she would just come to the house and take a bath. And it was just how she raised me to be. We can always help somebody if we can. And the thing that she instilled in me is, and I didn't get it until later, the if we can means make sure you're okay enough to help somebody else.
Yeah.
Because I used to help people even if I wasn't okay. And then that hurts me more. But I get it now, Mama. I make sure I'm okay to help others. But those are the life lessons that I still, take, and what I try to also instill in my children. So, absolutely. So with all of that being said, as we've had this conversation, I know for me, it's been, this year would be 17 years, I think. It'll be 17 years this year that that Mama has passed in September. And I remember the first year, like, even now when I think about it, it was tough, Every holiday, the first birthday, the first Mother's Day, first Christmas without your mama, it was like, the world feels different.
Yeah.
Something feels off. And you're the only one going through it.
Yeah.
Right? Even if you have, it was just me and my sister, just like it's just you and your brother, right? For those who think that me and Nick are biological brother and sister, we are not. It's my God brother, right? But when you go through it, you're the only one in here with it. It feels weird sometimes.
For me, I kept wondering, why isn't the world stopping? Like, why won't things stop? How are businesses still going? How are people still having conversation? My mama's gone. And you realize how two things. I realized how huge she was for me, and then I realized how small we are in the world as well. But yeah, you go through I went through a phase of like, I can't believe this planet is still turning, and the matriarch of my life, the person that knows me best, the person that I'm a part of, is not here. It's a weird feeling.
Yeah.
It's a weird feeling. And not being, we talk every day. My mom and I talk every single day on FaceTime. Couple times a day.
Yeah.
Just to laugh and talk. And to not be able to reach her. I remember the first time of looking up to talk to her, and I was like, oh my God, this is really, that's when it got real to me. When I wanted to talk to my mom right after the service, and instead of being able to just, looking up and going, hey, that was a huge turn for me. Yeah. I miss that lady. God, man, I miss her so much. I miss her so much.
It's always it's 2 years for you, but it's 17 for me, and there's still this weird moment that you'll sometimes have that you feel like they're still here.
Yeah.
Like when the best things are happening in my life, I'll call my daddy, I'll call my sister, I tell Chance, like whatever it is, and I still be like, dang, I ain't tell somebody.
Yeah.
And it's my mama, right? It's or in a weird way, you sometimes just reach for the phone like you.
Yeah.
Even after 17 years.
Yeah.
It is a hole in your heart that will never be filled again, right? And it doesn't necessarily, it doesn't ever go away. It gets easier. It doesn't get better. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people, think, oh, it'll get better. No, it never gets better. It just gets easier to deal with it. But you still have that emptiness that's there.
I hear you. I'm here. like, I could never, I'm so thankful that my mom is still here. And it's times where I feel like, you know, there's even some guilt, right? Like, I don't know no other way to put it. But when I think about your mom in that space, right? What I do, or what I feel like I feel the space with, and it's no comparison to you. This is your mom, right? Because of all of the things that have come to pass that she said, what I'm thankful for, or how I choose to view it, because she was so impactful on my life. But all of the things that have happened that you guys are witnessing, right? The whole world is witnessing, right? With our family, she literally, she literally told us that this stuff was gonna happen. Like, this is going to happen, and I ain't believe it. Like, I'm just gonna tell you, but because I watched her take her last breath, and with the strength, and still smiling and joking, and no fear, which I have, unfortunately, seen a lot of stuff and witnessed a lot of things, but I've never seen that kind of strength. The strength that was displayed to me, which I have never felt faint in my life. I've never in my life felt faint. That's the one moment in my life where I felt like my legs were about to go, because I was witnessing something that I never thought that I would ever witness. Is somebody knowing that they're leaving here in the physical and smiling on their way out, like literally trying to take care of everybody.
That's huge.
And then to see everything that has happened with even me doing speaking engagements and from policing and having a son and all of these things, I feel that space for me, that void, because I miss her, because she loved me in a way that even my mom didn't know how to love me. She believed in me in a way that even my mom or nobody that I had ever encountered had done so, has been filled with faith. And that was something that I could voice to her with no judgment. And even in her illness, I'm standing by her bedside telling her I'm mad at God, and she defended him and telling me, baby, this has got to happen. Y'all's life is about to be, y'all's life. She was telling me this, right? So I feel that that void for me when I think about her and in my sadness, and I'm like, you know, I wish that she was here. I'm thankful because I know that there's a heaven. Yeah. She told me it was. I know we're gonna be okay because it's been proven, and everything that she said has come to pass. I have when my son is ill, or when things ain't going right, I have my moment just like everybody else, but because my experience with her right here on this earth, I believe in angels. Where I would have looked at you and been like, you lying, shut up, that ain't true. Before her, that space has been replaced with faith and a certain optimism on life and the afterlife. Yeah. The thought of that stuff used to be so overwhelming for me. Even with me believing in what my mom said, she couldn't bring it home like that, right? And I've been blessed enough to where my mom didn't have to, and I get to see her grow old. But when I think about that, I'm very thankful and appreciative for her and her impact on my life.
Yeah. It's funny you said it about the angels, because I was thinking about, I think sometimes we think of angels as just the spirit of our ancestors, right? Which I do believe as well. Like our mothers, they do become our angels. They still parent from the other side. Like even in this moment, I feel like mama is being my mama right now, right? Your mama is, because I am able to talk about what she left behind for us. You're able to talk about that. It's like even when we're gone, we're going to still be out here being a mama. But I also remember when Mama was sick, and one day I will talk a whole lot about this because it is the supernatural. And my mama left a lot of cassette tapes for me and journals that I have still yet to go through all of. But when she was sick, there would be sometimes music would start to play in the house. And it sounded like wind chimes. And I'd be like, at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, like, where are these wind chimes? Like, I would wake up and she was in hospital bed. She was on a ventilator in her bedroom. And I'd be like, what, Mama? And she would look at me and she was like, that's the angels. She was like, so many of them, like outside in the front yard, I can see them. And she would tell me that, she was like, but there's 2 massive ones that, one is at the foot of my bed and one is at the head of my bed. And I would be looking, of course I wouldn't see anything, but I could hear these chimes. Mm. And I said, well, what do they look like? And she said, they look like eagles, like in armor. She was like, they're so massive, like big birds, and they have armor on. The 2 that stand in her bed, and she said, you don't have to be concerned about me. I'm covered. And so, even knowing that she saw something that I couldn't see that was very much so supernatural, but I would feel stuff in the house and it would just be all kinds of stuff happening. I know that now she has armor, and that she has went to the other side and she is fighting battles for me. Like, I feel like her and God be like, yo, you okay, Patricia. Right? I feel like when we lose a parent, sometimes in the physical, what they couldn't do to help us, they go to the other side and they can help us in so many other ways. Yeah. And I wanted to just share that because I know sometimes when you lose your mama or your father or grandma or whoever it may be, you can feel alone, or that you don't have the person that used to make you feel safe or protected or that you could talk to in the physical. But on the other side, you gain an angel that can help you in more ways than you can imagine. And so I hope that helps somebody find peace and safety again, knowing that for yourself. Especially this Mother's Day weekend, as I know emotions can flow and all the things. Listen, I'm telling you, as I've been telling you, doors been opening for you and so many things. God is so amazing. But I know that your mama is your angel and she is showing up and giving you signs all the time. Yeah. So what is one way that we can leave it that you what helps you with grieving? Because I know a lot of people who are grieving be wanting to know like what the grieving process. What is one thing or some of the things that you do to kind of help, especially during this time? Like, you are one of those people who lost your mama. Not only on any day is hard to lose your parent, but on Mother's Day weekend.
In the month I'm born. I don't know why you had to leave here doing my month.
She said, you won't never forget.
You ain't gonna never forget. Yeah. That's a good question because, first of all, my mom did a really good job with, in her own way, preparing myself and my dad. She was consistently telling us, hey, I have lived a good life. And if I died today, my God, your daddy took care of me. And what she was really doing was telling me, watch your daddy when I leave here because he gonna need you. He needs you, and it's true. And she prepared me, just watching her take care of everybody in her own way. She had to make sure that all of us had a quilt. From me, my brother, my dad, and even my dad's best friend. She made sure that she quilted. She knew I like African stuff, so she made me an African quilt. My dad was in the fire department, fire chief, so she made him a fire quilt. She made my brother one, and even his best friend. She was leaving little trails of her for me, and now I'm realizing what that was. But specifically, what I had to do for myself was, you know, people laugh at my, but these are all of the things that my mother had collected over the years. All of these charms were things my dad had given my mother, or things that she bought on vacation, things that, this is even a drama mask, because I started doing acting. She bought herself a little drama thing. This is a cross. This is, you bought me this. Yeah. With her little urn with her ashes in it. But these are things that my mother wears. So when I wear it, they remind me of her. When I hear it, I hear her. These are a part of her. So I also bought a little crystal with her little face in there. So I guess part of what's helping me grieve is keeping those things that mean something, that meant something to her here, on me or around me or near me. Yeah. Because of the physical distance that I feel. But she comes back in dreams. Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of the lessons are just now unfolding that my mom did. I remember her coming to a play, and this is my first big show at a big Shakespearean theater. I'd done right out of college. I did A Midsummer Night's Dream at this really big theater called the Guthrie. And it was, if I must say so myself, it was a very successful show. And so at the end of the show, people jumped up to applause. And I looked down at the audience, my mom was like this. She didn't stand up, she wasn't clapping. I was like, why ain't she standing up and clapping? And so when I came out, I got kind of mad. I was like, Mama, what? Everybody was in the place and you and Daddy just sitting there. She said, I expect that out of you. Mm. I've seen the miracle. I've seen you not be able to talk. Now, I had a horrible speech impediment. I've seen you go from that to this. I've been on the journey with you. So I love you and I'm impressed by it, but not that impressed.
She said I expect nothing less.
I expect nothing less.
I love it.
Yeah. So,
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. What helps you? What is your thing that?
I think for me is I constantly talk about her.
Yeah.
Like, people be like, girl, I feel like your mama's still here. The way, people know my mama's name, but she also said that they would.
Yeah.
Just constantly telling stories and just keeping her memory alive. Of course, I find dimes all the time. I also don't allow anybody else's thoughts about how I grieve affect me.
That's right.
But, even like us, how we used to go hiking and take our walks and stuff, that type of stuff would help.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I think the biggest thing is that I'm constantly talking about her. And that helps me.
Are there some things that you do that you see that they're direct imprints from your mother?
Oh, yeah. First of all, I hear my voice sometimes and I be like,
I was about to say,
oh my God, I sound like my mama. Like, and that now lately, not when my hair is braided, but when my hair is out, sometimes I can look in the mirror and I be like, wait a minute now. I look like my mama. Like, as much as I feel like I look like my daddy, I see my mama in me. I definitely got my mama eyes, but sometimes I can be like, because my sister look identical to mama. But there's just moments where I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm turning into my mama. But how, like just now, me and Troy were having a long conversation. Just in how I was talking to her, I could hear my mama talking to me. Just the grace and the patience, trying to really understand. I was like, this is my mama.
I'm gonna tell you, when I heard that tape, you played some of that tape for me, I was like, oh my God. And how soft-spoken, you're really that.
That's what I was gonna say.
You've been acting a lot, and so you've learned to be like, but your voice is
but
really.
But I can't yell, and I always lose my voice.
Yeah.
My mama, I've never really heard her yell. She was very soft-spoken. She could raise her voice, but it was not like a scream. Even when she would like holler, it would be it would sound weird, like, yeah, stop. Like, it was like, are you hollering in soprano? Like, what is happening? She was just that kind of like soft spirit. And I do feel like the more I age, I am turning into that. You know, I don't. It's exhausting for me to get like riled up.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I used to be able to get on Chan's nerves good. Now I be like, I ain't got the strength to
No, you still get on.
I'm talking about
What you say, Chance?
Now,
No, you
if
still
you buck.
No, you still.
I'm talking about I ain't coming to the club shaking my dress. I'm not doing
No,
that.
you talking about arguing and getting on the nerves. It's two different things.
Well, that's what I mean, getting on your nerves.
No, you get on my nerves. Come on, man.
Man, don't be talking about me like that. I'm Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah, I love you. Happy Mother's Day, but we gonna tell the truth. We gonna tell the truth. You still get on my nerves.
Oh, see, and you know what? Just like my mama, I love you anyway.
Yeah.
My mama, Chance could do anything. My mama did not care.
Yeah.
She thought he was a saint. She didn't live long enough to know he was an angel.
Hey, listen. Hey, she knew I was gonna be here.
Yeah, she did.
Mm-hmm. You could have wound it up with one of them other jumps.
You could have wound it up with one of
You
them.
could have wound it up with one of them.
All right.
Wrap it up.
Now.
Wrap it up, Tab. Wrap it up.
All right, y'all. Listen, I love that we ended it on a high note with laughter and love. Brother, thank you for sharing, such a vulnerable moment with us. And we hope that y'all were able to, take something that you can hold on to. I hope that if you have lost your mother, that you find peace and beautiful memories around your heart and mind this weekend. And that y'all give yourself grace. Be easy on yourself. Be gentle with yourself. And wishing all the mothers out there a happy Mother's Day. Okay, we love y'all. And until the next time, honey, y'all, go about y'all business and have the most amazing day. And even if you can't have a good one, don't you dare go messing up nobody else's here. Love y'all. God bless y'all. Thank you for watching this episode, honey. And if you liked it, go ahead and click right here for more of those episodes.
And if you haven't already subscribed, please remember to do so.
Very good.